Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies for Nursery Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, aka Robocop shot that dude in the dick. With my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Bacon Burger Dog.
Oh, you just been canceled. Only for people old enough to even know what that reference meant. Yeah, and we're back with another episode. And yeah, we got a full episode. We're just gonna just jump into it. We got reviews, we got video game news, we got some comics news, good and bad, but we're gonna get into it because I don't know about how you feel, Eli, but I'm pissed right now. But we'll get to that part. But before we get to it, I want to talk about my favorite show out right now. Even though it's a
Okay,
banned topic, we're gonna talk about it.
okay.
Yeah, the first thing I want to talk about is that Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Not It's actually not called Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's just called Bel-Air. It's a new
Oh,
reimagining.
the gritty reboot.
Yeah, the gritty reboot, urban drama, like no more comedy in it. We used to like the comedy like that. This is gone. This doesn't exist anymore. This is gone. No laughs, no tomfoolery, no shenanigans. Now it's urban, it's gritty, it's drama. You got to have the new cast. But here's the thing, Eli. Not only is it new and it's urban, it's drama, it's been reimagined where it's been updated to 2022. For instance, like Will Smith is still a kid from West Philly, but now he uses 2020 West Philly slang, like young bull. He wears an Iverson jersey, and Meek Mills and Freeway is his favorite rap. A whole bunch of Philadelphia rappers. So he has that Philadelphia feel. But one of the biggest changes that everybody knows, I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Yeah. Okay. Remember your boy, Carlton?
Sure.
Carlton Banks? Okay. And everybody loves this part right here. The Carlton dance. He's a fun guy and stuff like that. And that's gone. That's out of here. So he has been replaced by the 22 variant version of Carlton Banks, which is this guy who is, after one episode, has already become the most hated man the most hated black man in TV, probably history, because he's just fucking evil. So they take this fun, goofy loving dude that used to dance all the time like that, and now he's actually like the main villain of the show. Everything he does is to undermine Will, try to get him kicked out of school, try to get him out of the house, try to kick out of California, everything. Just a fucking evil dude. He's just like, whoa, okay. And he's a cokehead. So it's like, what? Okay.
Oh,
But when you think about an old show, could you picture him as a cokehead? Possibly. But I can see how they updated, because if you look at the old show, yeah, he was in the 90s, he was a black Republican. So if you take the black Republican and what do you think about that in 2022? That's that guy. That's what you expect a black Republican to look like. I
that's what
mean,
I was
he's
about to say.
basically
Is he like Candace Owens? Oh,
he's Candace Owens with
or
a
the
penis. That's what he is.
or the Hodgepodge twins or whatever they're called.
Yeah, we can keep going down the road. This thing, so that Carlton stereotype back in the 90s, that's out of here. I mean, that was fine for 30 years ago, but now that didn't fly. Now we're more on topic. But that's not the only big. Honestly, that's not even the biggest change on the show. The biggest change is Jeffrey.
Is he a white
So
guy?
they no, that would be it, but that would make sense. Like a black butler in a black household. Like, really? So it didn't make too much sense in the 90s, but he was fun, sarcastic, stuff like that. No, he's been reimagined. He's been rebooted. We have a new variant. This is the Jeffrey variant. So he's like some kind of James Bond suave guy. So he says he's the house manager,
Is that
but
BIPOC Batman?
basically, they've already started recast the child and putting his face on there. So yeah, he should be that instead of a butler. So yeah, but
He's out fighting
but
crime at night.
I'll get to that. So yeah, so he walks around the house. He doesn't clean. He doesn't cook. He doesn't butler. He doesn't laundry. He just walks around the house just drinking scotch in nice tailored suits. You're like, what does he do? And then you realize in the fourth episode, oh, that's what he does. So here's the thing, Eli. He's not a butler anymore, but he's a cleaner. If that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
like what's that movie? Point of No Return, La Femme Nikita.
like that. Yeah,
I'm the cleaner.
he's the cleaner. He's a problem solver. So
Took care of that thing for you.
he took care of the thing for us. So, like I said, the show basically started like with Will Smith gets into a fight with the guy in the basketball court, and then Will's, goes to Jeffrey, who's supposed to. He thinks he's a butler. He's like, "Do you know why I'm here?" Like I'm not supposed to tell anybody. Oh yeah, the guy that's in the basketball court that's looking for you. Don't worry about him. it's handled. Like,
Won't see him again.
right. And like, aren't you a butler? You're like, okay, never mind, So yeah, so that's the big, where I don't have it right now, but anyway. And also Uncle Phil is, I guess, sexy now. I guess I don't know. So yeah, whatever. Like the women go crazy over him now. So I guess, yeah. So that's the change we got going on right now. So yeah, Fresh Prince, BeL-Air, awesome show. They got a lot of stuff. It's like you now don't bring the kids around. We used to watch. We had the kids watching 90s sitcoms. This isn't that. This is some shit that could probably be on HBO Max or something like that. So yeah, check it out on Peacock. But I'm enjoying it right now. Now let's get into another review. Well, actually, review we're gonna do because we're gonna talk about Marry Me. We're gonna talk about Marry Me. Now, why are we talking about Marry Me on this show?
Yeah, why are we talking about it?
Because we're a week after Valentine's Day and we're in love. Well, not in love with each other, but just saying, just saying love is in the air. But the real reason we're talking about Marry Me, because Marry Me is actually based. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So everybody, if you don't know the plot of the movie is basically that J-Lo's a pop star. And she's in this arranged marriage, for publicity, stuff like that. She changed her mind and just married some rando in the crowd, which is Owen Wilson. Boom, that's the plot of the movie. So yeah, that's the plot. But the reason we're talking about it because this movie is based on a comic. Yeah.
Oh shit.
And it's actually credited after the guy. So it's actually adapted from a comic. The same plot. It's, she's a pop star, arranged marriage. She marries some rando dude at the crowd. Boom, that's the plot of the story. So yeah, so they're adapting everything, man. And that's what we got to talk. It's the comic book bullies, so we talk about everything. We're not the superhero bullies. We're not the anime manga bullies. We're talking about, we're comics. So if it's comics, we address it. I'm gonna just review the movie real quick. It's a rom-com. It's what you expect. J-Lo's playing a pop star. She can play a pop star. Owen Wilson is playing the everyman that has enough charisma to look like he can pull a pop star, but not too much charisma. Will look like too easy for him. So he's got to ride that line.
He's got good teeth.
Yeah, it's Owen Wilson. He of course he could do that,
Yeah.
And it does every single trope you expect in there. It has the plane sequence at the end. Usually they break up because this not going to work out. Then they work out at the end, and yeah, all the tropes. What I didn't expect that the movie has more music in it. I expect it's almost like Purple Rain, but she's not. J-Lo's not Prince. Don't get that twisted. But I'll be honest with you, like some of the songs were kind of catchy. They're poppy. Expected to be on the Hot 100 Billboard singles like that, but they're catchy. And J-Lo can pull out most of it.
Did you watch this movie because you thought you were going to score?
No. It was on Peacock. It was on Peacock. So I was just like, because I was watching Fresh Prince.
The correct answer is yes.
If someone asks if you're a god, you say yes. Another old reference people won't get, but yeah. But that's all I got to say about that. I just want to talk about that because it was a comic movie, and we never review rom-coms on here, so I just want to branch out a little bit. So yeah.
I'm trying to think. Have we ever? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have. We've never had a really reason to. Have there ever been a rom-com?
Wow. Well, one that I would watch. I don't know.
Right. Not that I would force you to watch, Marry Me or some shit like that, or any J-Lo movie for that is, but yeah. All right. So anyway, let's get to the meat of it, what people want. Let's give the people what they want, Eli.
The meat. No pun
The
intended.
meat. Yeah.
Or maybe what
all
it
right.
is, I don't know.
Maybe so. Yeah. So like I said, we saw a movie. Oh, well, I'm like I said, Eli, I'm gonna let you take point because like I said, this is your wheelhouse. But yeah, pretty much a lot of people saw this weekend Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix. Yes, there is a sequel that ignores every other sequel except for the first
requel,
one.
as they say.
Requel, yeah, whatever you want to call it. That's the thing. I'm pretty sure it's a thing. It's been catchphrase, trademark, stuff like that. That's what it is. Eli, I'm gonna let you take it away and.
Well, no, let me know what you think. Do you like it?
Oh, I was gonna let you go first. You really want me to go first?
Go ahead, man.
Okay, I'll go first. Okay. Yeah, I fucking hated this movie. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I feel like this is not my wheelhouse. I mean, it kind of gave me real like Halloween Kills vibes on it because I hated that movie too. I feel like this is even worse than that. This is very much a Netflixy movie, so it's bad even by Netflix standards.
I guess I didn't really think about which was worse, this or Halloween.
I thought about it. I thought about it because I felt like this is worse because it's purposely going out of its way to copy Halloween Kills. So just the fact that you're trying to copy and you're doing a shitty version of it, yeah, it's worse. Plus, there is absolutely no plot in this movie, like none. It's just like some idiot kids show up, Leatherface wakes up, kill a bunch of kids for like 90 minutes, the end. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Honestly, Eli, because the thing is, I cared so little about these kids. The movie almost became background noise. Okay, another chopped off arm here, another chopped off head
I
here,
think that
another
was the point, but I totally
right.
agree.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I wasn't engaged in the movie. I'm saying I feel like I was kind of zoning out because it was just too
Yeah,
much of it.
no,
Because I
I
didn't
agree.
care what was happening on the screen. But I will say something good about this movie. I don't even know if it's good, but halfway through the movie, or not even halfway through, a quarter through the movie, I found myself rooting for Leatherface.
I think that was
And
the
I don't.
point too.
I think that was the point. Also, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say it was on purpose because they went out of their way to make every regular person in this movie as shitty as possible. They make them the worst people imaginable. They're just a bunch of hipsters, Gen Z, social media influencers, uppity, rich, that's just have their head up their ass, and they say shit that makes you want to have their head chopped off. Like, Leatherface goes on a bus. Don't touch me, bro. You're gonna get canceled. And I was like, please chop his head off. Please chop his head off. And he did it, you know. So it's like everybody in it deserves to get killed. I got to the point even where if somebody got away from Leatherface, I got pissed. I got just pissed at Leatherface. They're like, damn, Leatherface, you almost had him.
Well,
But they
and
got him.
the ending. I mean, I probably would have hated it even more had that ending not have happened.
I saw the ending coming. I saw the ending coming. I do feel like, Eli, if we were in the theaters and we saw that ending, I promise you, I think half the theater would have clapped.
Yeah,
Just for that hair, because they hated that chick so fucking. I'm not
I
gonna
was like,
spoil
this ain't
it
the
for
final girl, is it? Come on.
So yes, that's the thing. So I hated everybody in the movie. So half the pleasure of the movie was Leatherface chopping people up. It almost felt like he was the hero of the movie. He started riding me like Darth Maul, you know, on Star Wars. I started like rooting for him. Got mad when we almost killed. Like, no, don't kill him, you know. So that's about the only enjoyment I got in the movie. But other than that, man, it just felt like a Netflixy movie. There's absolutely zero story. They want you to hate these people, but I agree with you. I think wanting you to hate these people was to the point, but I think they were too good at making you hate these people, you know, because I wanted everybody to go, you know. So that's what I feel about this. I do feel it was worth a Halloween Kill, but at the same time, it did give me something that Halloween Kills didn't give me. Because at the end, I did want Michael Myers to just go John Wick on the townspeople, stuff like that. Where Leatherface did do that on the bus. So I kind of give credit. I feel like the bus scene in this was better than any scene in the other two movies we saw.
Well, yeah, I think. The bus scene is worth the look.
The bus scene is worth the price of
It
admission.
makes
So
the movie worth it.
It makes it worth it. Matter of fact, you don't have to see the movie. You just see the bus scene. Just be done with it. So I'm going to give this movie better than Halloween Kills, even though it's unoriginal, because of the bus scene. Because the thing that knocked the movie was because that white-haired chick that was in the movie, like I said, Eli, I'm not as versed in lore of Texas Chainsaw
The legacy
Massacre.
character, bringing back the legacy character, which is a
but
big trend now.
Yes, but I didn't know who the fuck that person was, but I knew it was like here. Oh, yeah, some white-haired chick that just pissed off. Oh, yeah, it's Laurie Strode again. It's Sarah Connell again. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know who you are, but I know you're pissed, so go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want to do. And when Leatherface killed her, I was like, I don't know who the fuck you were, so I don't even care if he did kill you or not, you know. So yeah, so that's my whole thing about that. But oh man, what am I gonna get this movie? 2 out of 5. I'm gonna give it a point because of the bus
You
scene.
like this more than I did.
No, do not tell me that. Oh man, I thought you were gonna like down a hill with this movie, last something like that. All right, so go ahead. Lay it on
no,
me.
I pretty much agree with you. I really didn't care for this. I can't say that I was disappointed because my expectations were so
expectations
low.
were low anyway.
I knew this was gonna suck, and it did suck. So I'm like, well, there you go. You know, I mean, I've followed the making of this movie for a while. I heard that they fired the first director and none of his footage used, so there might be another cut of this somewhere. Who knows? I heard that they did test screenings and people hated it. No one wanted to pick it up until Netflix was like, "Fuck it, we'll take it. It's not going to theaters. Fuck it, we'll take it." So it just has sort of a troubled past, and it just word of mouth said, "Well, this movie's going to suck." So I didn't expect much. And then seeing the trailers, I'm like, oh, is this going to be some woke shit? And it actually turned out not to be that way, which is probably a good thing because it was
Well,
actually
I think it was a it was anti woke. It
it
was a
was like
parody on
anti-woke.
wokeness.
It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's a big slap. They're slapping the face to these to the woke millennial, generation, which I thought was funny, you know. And about the only cool things I can say about it was, yeah, that it had this sort of anti-woke message, which I found hilarious. It was short. That was good.
Yeah, that's a
70 minutes in and out. Okay, cool. But first and foremost, I thought Leatherface looked stupid. I thought his mask looked stupid, and I've been saying that ever since the trailer. I think he looked like comic book guy from fucking Simpsons, or a shitty new metal band, man. Like he should be in Slipknot or Mushroom Head or some shitty new metal band. I just didn't like Leatherface's look. So that was right off the bat. But like you said, it was pretty shallow and empty. There was really no plot. There was no storyline. Everyone was stupid. The bus scene was cool. It was cool to see everybody get chopped up, but they're also, why didn't anybody tackle them? Well, because they're all stupid. Okay, cool. So
I mean, maybe if they did, I mean, he looked like he had like super strength anyway, so that
yeah,
wouldn't really matter.
and if you want to watch it as just a simple, straight up slasher movie, it works on that level. If you just want to see a mindless killer, slaughter a bunch of fucking shitty people you can't stand, it totally works on that. But this is Texas Chainsaw, and I think it should go. There should be more substance to it because this is one of the original slasher movies. Or the original is like spawned the genre.
Right.
The whole thing with Sally bringing back the old character, and not doing anything with her, I thought was kind of funny, in a way, because it's if they're doing this thing where like fuck the nostalgia, fuck bringing back the legacy. That's like a trend now. We're gonna bring back the old characters and bring back nostalgia, and this movie does the same thing only to kill her. I think that's kind of funny if it's intended, but still, because there's no substance and nothing for me to give a shit
And she
about.
pops out of nowhere.
And she doesn't really do anything. And, it just kind of fell flat for me. I mean, there was glimpses, there was parts of this movie where like the girl who was like she was in the school shooting. She was like a victim of a school shooting.
Yeah.
And then she meets the redneck guy, the gun-toting redneck guy with the Confederate flag. He's, and they have a sort of a meeting and they kind of have an understanding, in a way. And I thought, okay, there's something that's interesting, but they don't do anything with that either.
Yeah. Once Leatherface starts chopping up people, they forget all about that. So
yeah, and it's like we're just gonna make this stupid slasher movie, with brutal, like the kills were great. That's another thing. The kills were awesome. Great
the kills
effects,
were great. I give them that. Yeah.
awesome gore, awesome effects. That's cool. And so it works as just a simple mindless slasher, but this is Texas Chainsaw, and I don't subscribe to the theory that Texas Chainsaw was ever a mindless slasher. That's just me. I'm a fan of these movies. Well, I'm a fan of a few of them. This isn't the worst Texas Chainsaw movie by far. I've seen worse than this, but the original Tobe Hooper, he was making a statement. A lot of those directors from that time, John Carpenter, with the first Halloween, and Wes Craven and George Romero and Tobe Hooper, they were making political statements with horror movies. And Texas Chainsaw, he was saying that. He was critiquing American society. He was basically saying, there's something wrong with this country. The people are fucked up. He was talking about, you had the gas station with no gas, the family that was out of work, this economic ruin, the classism, the working class was disappearing. And this family was a part of that, and he even pushes it further. You know what? I was preparing this whole thing. I was gonna like rate all the movies and shit, but after watching this movie wore me out. So I said fuck it. But here's an image I took. I'll share with you. I mean, Toby was always critiquing American American culture, the America in decline. That was kind of what he's saying with his movies. And Texas Chainsaw, the original one, total, exercise in terror. In part 2, he pushes it even further. Now he didn't want to make a second Texas Chainsaw, but under contract with Canon Films, they said, you have to do one. He says, I'll do it on one condition. I get full creative control. They said, go ahead. And he made Texas Chainsaw into a satire, a straight up comedy. He was trolling everybody with the second movie.
Well.
The second movie goes way deeper than people give it credit for. It gets dismissed as this cheesy crap because it wasn't the first one. It's the opposite of the first one. It's totally cheesy, campy comedy, but he is still commenting on the Reagan era, on yuppies, on American greed and corporate greed, and American violence. Like the hideout in the family's hideout in that movie is at this old Texas battleground. This is historic battlefield. That's what they're hiding out. So it's a comment on this country was built on violence. This family is a product of that violence. Like America created this sadistic cannibal family. Like they are a result of America's historical atrocities. That's what Tobe Hooper was saying with his movies, with a lot of his movies, with Poltergeist. Poltergeist, original Poltergeist. People think Steven Spielberg made it. No, he produced it. Tobe Hooper directed it. Now, that's a movie where a suburban white neighborhood is built on a cemetery.
Yep.
Does anybody remember how Poltergeist begins? I'll let you know. Poltergeist, when you first watch it, what's the first thing you hear? The first thing you hear when Poltergeist opens is the national anthem. It's a shot of the TV screen. The national anthem's playing. You watch the credits while the Star Spangled Banner is playing in the background. And then the TV goes to snow, it cuts to static, and then the movie begins. But that's what he's saying. It's thematically, he's saying, yes, America is built on a graveyard. That all this white comfort and white privilege and these suburban neighborhoods were provided by genocide and slavery. That's the themes he's saying with his movies, And so I don't subscribe to the fact that when people say, oh, it's just this simple, goofy, cheesy slasher. No. Texas Chainsaw was never that, and that's why the remakes work. When the remakes came out, because they went back to that source. The remake in 2000,
and the thing is, I actually watched those remakes after I watched this. Going like, okay, this is a shitty movie. Is Texas Chainsaw not as good as I remember? And I watched those remakes like with Jessica Biel and the one even the one after that, and I was like, no, these movies are good.
Yes, because
so it's not me, it's this movie.
Yeah, they go back to the source. They go back to the American corruption and American decline and the family that's out of work. The family that this corrupt family that's selling human barbecue at a roadside fucking cafe, and the leader of that family is a corrupt cop.
Right.
He's going back to this. What's real? All the fucked up problems in America that nobody is talking about. That's what he's saying. And the fact that those movies, the remake came out post 9/11, right after 9/11 happened. So America was in turmoil. So that's why those movies work, because they went back to the source. They went back to the formula, this formula of the fucked up family. And I think that's what's missing from this one is the family dynamic. They just try to turn Leatherface into this, like Jason, this mindless stalker that's killing.
Michael Myers, just the shape.
Leatherface was never that. Leatherface was this man-child, sympathetic man-child that was following orders from the patriarchy. Holy shit, how deep are we going? But you know what I'm saying? There was that family dynamic. It wasn't just Leatherface, it was the whole family. The hitchhiker in the first Texas Chainsaw, he's the creepiest fucking character. In the second one, it's his twin brother, Chop Top. He steals the fucking movie. He has all the coolest lines, dog will hunt and my sonny Bono way. He totally steals the movie, the Chop Top. It's not just Leatherface. So just to take all that away and just make Leatherface into this mindless stalker that's just killing.
They saw Halloween Kills. They saw how much money it made. Let's just do that because we got this guy.
Yeah. I mean, on that level, if it's just gonna be a mindless slasher, it totally works. But to me, this Texas Chainsaw, this is one of the OGs. It deserves better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really checked out halfway through this movie and like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
The
it
bus
was
scene
just
was cool.
background noise. Busing was
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, you kill this guy. Yeah, you
yeah,
chop this guy up. Okay, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I was like, eh.
Like I feel like I should be more engaged with the movie because we always give Netflix a hard time, but they're starting to make better movies. That's
Yeah.
Don't Look Up and stuff like that. So you're thinking, okay, we should get better movies than this, but no, it just feels like Netflix, and they better give us better movies than this if they're gonna start raising the price on our subscription. So
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, there is a lot of cool things to like. I did laugh a lot. I thought the rednecks, those gentrifuckers, and there was some funny shit in here. I thought, like I said, the bus scene, the a lot of the kills, I was laughing. You guys a cult? No, we're trying to change the world. Oh yeah, you're a cult. I mean, there was some funny shit. Like I said, this wasn't the worst Texas Chainsaw I've seen. So, but yeah, I wasn't into it, and I
okay,
can't, like I said, I can't say I was disappointed because my expectations were so low
okay.
already.
Please tell me that Scream is better than this and Halloween Kills and all this other shit that came out.
I enjoyed Scream for what it was, but
Oh,
I'm not the biggest Scream fan. I've heard Scream fans that hate it. So,
okay.
so if you're I thought it was fine, but to me, I'm not into Scream, so it's just what it is. So, yeah, sure, it's another Scream movie to me. They're all just okay to me.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, but I've heard some Scream fans. Donut, shout out to Donut and the Sprinkles. They watch horror movies every night. He loves Scream. That's like his favorite slasher. He loves Scream, and he hated the new one.
Oh damn.
So but yeah, I don't know if I hated this, but I don't have a desire to watch it again either. So
I hated it and don't have a desire to watch it again. So yeah, I'm 2 for 2.
yeah, so I give it a 1 out of 5.
Damn. Okay. I don't know. It's not your review. It's not like you liked it more than I did because you found more stuff than I did. But
Well,
yeah.
it's just like I said, I had this whole thing. Like I was preparing all week. I'm gonna review all them. I was gonna rank all the Texas Chainsaw movies. You know what I mean? I had this whole PowerPoint thing. I was gonna go through the history and shit. But then I'm like, you know what? This movie wore me out. I don't even care anymore.
Oh,
So yeah, that's all I got.
all right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Well, we still make a good time. Okay. So we got let's talk about Peacemaker.
Let's talk about something cool.
Yeah, let's talk about something we actually like. Not a rom-com, not a shitty slasher movie on Netflix. No, let's talk about something we like. Let's talk about Peacemaker. Like I said, it delivered. I was like, if they stick the landing on this one, it delivers. It delivered for me. Give me everything I want. I thought the action was awesome. The storyline was cool. It wrapped up the storyline. It made really Peacemaker reflect on what he was doing the whole time. Because these bugs were just doing what he's doing, trying to keep the peace. And
Killing for peace.
Killing for peace. You're like, okay, yeah, when somebody else says it, yeah, it sounds stupid, So that's basically what it was, The effects on the bug monster was cool, even when Economist was just like, oh, fuck this, get me out of here, And they hadn't seen the bug, but they're like, oh, what is he freaking out for? But if you see it, you know why he's freaking out. So and that's the thing about this show. Is that it made you care about these characters, not just Peacemaker, everybody, hardcore, economist, Adebayo, even Marn, even though he got killed off with it, but you felt sad for Marn when he died. So I was like, man, so that's the thing, like they made you care about these characters. And it wasn't like they were sitting up. So what does this mean for the DCEU? And what does it mean for the multiverse? Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
Yeah.
I know there are people that are freaking out because of that last scene with with the Justice League. Yeah, with Justice League showing up. Damn it, I should have got this scan. I should have got the scan on. But anyway,
yeah, I saw that shit, and then people, where was Batman and Cyborg? What the fuck?
No, I was about to say that. Actually, they were filmed. So Batman and Cyborg were filmed, and Warner Brothers made James Gunn cut it. Like they showed both actors. They're on Twitter right now, like all of them, but they made them cut them. So now we all know why they cut Cyborg. Now Warner Brothers, they doing some shitty shit right now. They have a tweet right now. They have a poster like celebrating Black History Month with all of our black superheroes. All of them there except Cyborg. So Ray Fisher has pissed them off.
They couldn't do the Doom Patrol Cyborg.
They like fuck all of them. Just they might kill him off next year just to spite Ray Fisher. So yeah, so they and the thing is, I haven't read a single Cyborg comic or him appearing in a comic in like a year. He just doesn't exist anymore. Like what the hell, DC? Like you pissed off that much about that guy? But yeah, but they got everybody got Will Smith on there. They got the black chick playing Black Canary. No Cyborg. And Batman. We already know why they got rid of Batman. Let me see if I can find that picture.
He looked too tough.
Right.
Well, I wasn't honestly, sissy boy Batman.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna kill Ben Affleck in the Flash movie anyway. Just make sure nobody asks him again. So.
But yeah, I love this show. Like every episode, I was laughing my ass off. I did not think I was gonna like the show. Especially you watched the Suicide Squad and he survived. Peacemaker survived. You're like, what the fuck, that asshole?
Right. And then because he was an asshole the whole movie, right?
He's an asshole, and then
he was the villain.
And he was the villain, and they're making a fucking TV show about him. I'm like, really? That fucking prick,
And then, like, if you read the comics suck.
Yeah.
So it's like, where are you pulling from? Like, how are you gonna make something out of this?
Yeah. And then surprisingly, James Gunn just pulled this out of his ass and made you care about this asshole.
Right. Well, it's what James Gunn did is that James Gunn made a James Gunn story. He made a James Gunn, movie because this is the most James Gunn has ever. James Gunn.
And this isn't like like Star-Lord, like where they're criminals and they're outlaws, but they're kind of likable and shit. No, this guy's an asshole. He's a racist douchebag.
Right.
You don't like him, but he makes you care about him. And I think. What I was noticing about this, as I was watching the show, remember, James Gunn got canceled.
Right.
He went through the ringer for a couple of years. He got fired by Disney. Everybody turned on him. Twitter turned on him. Everybody hated James Gunn for a couple of years. And he comes up with this show where everybody hates this fucking asshole. And then slowly but surely you start to empathize with them. And I think he might have been expressing some personal shit through the show, but basically, hey, we need to have these instead of like shutting people off and canceling people, let's have these conversations and come to an understanding, which is kind of like the core of the show. He's not a total like he's not a total piece of shit at the end. You're not a total piece of shit. You're only 85% a piece of shit.
Because this is a tough show to sell to people, man. Like I said, it's like Deadpool if he was a Republican. That's tough. That's a tough sale right there.
Kenny Powers. You ever watch Eastbound and Down? Danny McBride, he's a fucking douchebag prick. Kenny Powers, he's a lovable douchebag. That's what it reminded me of. If Kenny Powers was the Punisher,
Right. But at the same time, Peacemaker is trying. So yeah, he's one way to be in the show, but he's trying to become a better person. You can see him trying. So because at the same, I keep scratching my head. How does this show work? Because you explain it to people. It's no way to explain it to people that make it make sense. A racist douchebag asshole. His father is in the KKK. He fights bug monsters. You're like, what?
And then a lesbian black woman becomes his second best friend behind the eagle.
After his eagle, his
eagle, which was so touching at the end. I was like, oh,
right.
Like, I thought that was so touching.
And just explaining Vigilante, that just made how does it make you care about Vigilante? Vigilante should not work. But he does.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I don't get it. How did they do it? Because Vigilante sucks just as much as Peacemaker does in the comics.
Like
but
that,
they make
that last episode with Adebayo's trying to like apologize and going
right. Like stop doing it.
I feel really judged by people who like murder people. But yeah, Vigilante was awesome. Like he had the best scene, that jail cell scene.
It was awesome. Great, yeah.
It reminded me of 48 Hours. 48 Hours. Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte. When Reggie goes into the redneck bar and talks all the shit, beats up everybody. Goes into a racist redneck bar and just talks shit and beats them all up. That's what it kind of reminded me of. like vigilante goes to jail and talks shit to all these like fucking KKK members and
Right, trying to get them to do something. Yeah.
white allies, take note. This is your job.
Now, I will say this, and they have comic influences on there because Peacemaker's dad as a ghost form haunting him. That's from the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they're taking from that run in there, stuff like that. But even just updating it and playing around with like making his dad, the White Dragon, which wasn't a thing in the comics, but White Dragon is a racist supervillain. So it just tie it all up, make it make sense. Just like, man.
And then
so
the beard, like. This is how you
care about Economist when the show is over with.
The fucking beard. This is how you write a script, motherfuckers. Take note
from beginning to ending.
You pay off something. They're ragging on this dude's beard the whole fucking season. It's an inside joke, and then they tie it all together in the end, and it's such a heartwarming, emotional scene. Like this joke, this running gag turns into this emotional thing. We're like,
and you feel like an asshole for laughing at it for earlier.
That's how you write a good story. You don't just throw Baby Yoda in 2 fucking episodes and expect us to get, oh, this is awesome. No, there's a way to write good scripts, motherfuckers.
Right. So, because I didn't even care about the comics with the first film. He was invisible to me. He was just another guy over there. Because in Suicide Squad, he was invisible to me. But by the end of the show, I cared about him at the end of it. I didn't want anybody to die at the end of this. I was like, man, don't let him die. Yeah, don't let Hardcore die. I felt sorry when Hardcore died. What? She didn't
when
die,
Hardcore got fucking shot, I was like, oh shit, no way.
Especially with the music was playing, just like, no, man, don't do that. So yeah, so I was like, this show emotionally grabbed me, made me care about all of these characters in there. I was like, man, that's been a while since I've seen something like that. Just got you. So,
and the music. Now, I hated glam metal coming up. I just hated that shit. It was just party music for, douchebags that celebrated douchebaggery, treated women like objects, and just music to get you, writing power ballads so they can get laid. You know what I mean? Like ODB, you only singing to get some pussy,
Right.
And I hated all that shit, but they were going deep. I had cousins who liked it. I was into thrash and hardcore and punk. I was more aggro than that. I wasn't getting laid. So yeah, I was angry.
Yeah. but at the same time, I don't think it was really about the hair metal. I think the fact that it was just all in the 80s.
Well,
and that's the thing, he was stuck in the 80s.
Also, it makes total sense that this douchebag Peacemaker would listen to that shit.
Right. Of course, because that's what his brother listened to.
Of course he would know how to play Home Sweet Home on the piano.
Right.
Shit. And they were going.
And we didn't talk about that, but yes, that was John Cena actually playing it. So yeah, not a stunt double. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate that fucking song. But anyways, besides the point, like they went deep. You can tell that they were fans of this music. They were going deep with like, with Faster Pussycat and Cinderella and Hanoi Rocks. Pulling that conversation about how Hanoi Rocks started hair metal. Personally, I think it was the New York Dolls, but that's beside the point. But they went deep cuts into like hair metal, not just the poppy shit. Unlike Captain Marvel, where they just you just tell they just Googled.
And that's the thing. Like James Gunn set a bad example for Marvel after that, and DC also. DC has a problem with it also because he was using music even in Guardians to tell a story.
Yeah,
it was part of the story. But everybody just thought, oh, it's poppy music. Let's just play Eminem. And it's like, no, don't do that just for no reason.
Yeah.
And that's what,
You can tell, well, James Gunn was in bands, and you can tell he's a fan of the music. Like, unlike Captain Marvel, where you can just tell they Googled 90s hits and put that in the soundtrack.
Right.
I'm just a girl and shit. But
it completely stops the flow of the whole action beat because you're like, why the fuck are you playing this here?
Yeah. And like in the original Suicide Squad, let's do what Guardians did and just throw all this random.
Let's play
crap.
Kanye West. Let's play Eminem. Just like it doesn't make any sense. You're just doing it just to do it.
Yeah. Of all the CCR songs you could have played during Killer Croc, why wasn't it Born on the Bayou? He's a fucking alligator. Like what the?
Well, they didn't Google that.
Like, but like you could tell that they're a fan of this music, because they were going deep,
And James Gunn, I looked it up. He has his own Spotify page.
Oh, okay.
So yes, and he does has more. He's got a Guardian playlist, he's got a Peacemaker playlist, but he has a whole other playlist out there just shit he just likes. So he's deep. He's basically like a DJ, basically.
Yeah, and he's a fan of music.
Yeah,
So yeah, that worked, and like I said, it totally fits the character. It totally fits who he is. This
yeah, and
outdated, misogynistic prick listening to this shitty, sexist music.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it fits personality, but like I said, but he's trying to change. And that's the thing. You see his growth. He's trying to get there. He's having second thoughts about killing people. So
Mhm.
he has a code. So no matter how bad of a person you are, if you have a code, it makes you weird. Like Tony Montana on the Scarface movie was really a piece of shit if you think about it, but
Yeah.
he had a code.
Yeah.
So that's why you endeared to him. So
Well, that's what's I think we've come to a point where like audiences are like forgetting that it's okay to not like a character.
right.
Just
I
because.
don't think people get that. I think
Yeah,
if it's the main character, you're supposed to agree with everything he
yeah,
does. You're supposed to like, but no, you're not.
no, this makes the character interesting. Yeah, Tony Montana is a piece of shit. Joe Pesci in Goodfellas is a piece of shit. Did you feel bad when he dies? No,
Right.
but they're compelling to watch. It makes for a more interesting story. It makes you question, your own, why am I getting into this? They basically
Right.
remind you how not to be,
Right.
don't be like these people, but that's part of the drama, So yeah, like making us care about this asshole was brilliant, I thought. you know.
And like I said, they already got a season 2 plan. And James Gunn said he's writing and directing every episode of season 2.
Well, good.
So yeah, so he's coming back for that. I think he already has some stuff planned out for it. So yeah, man, I'm excited for it. But yeah, definitely take his time on that one. He got engaged to Harcourt yesterday or today. I don't know. So yeah.
Oh, James Gunn or Peacemaker?
Oh, James Gunn. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
James
know that
Gunn.
was his like
Got it.
wife or something. I knew that was something.
Yeah, that's his fiance now, so that's the thing. So yeah. So I'm happy for them. And Mern, don't feel bad for Mern because even though he died, he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy. Who he's
Oh,
playing,
that's right. Yeah.
we don't know yet, but people are guessing the High Evolutionary. But I'm pretty sure we're all wrong, so who cares? So yeah. All right, can we move on to the next part? What do we got next?
Sure.
Oh yeah, video game section. Let's go to the video game section. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Damn it. Doesn't matter. We're just gonna jump into it. Okay, so guess what dropped, Eli? The trailer for Street Fighter 6. And I'm gonna show it right now because hopefully we don't get flagged. I don't think we will. Oh, turn the music down. How do I turn the music down?
I don't know.
There we go. Okay. So Ryu is wearing shoes now, and he looks like fucking Kylo Ren on on Last Jedi. Like why? So it's not Ken, it's Luke. It's a new guy.
Shit.
Another blonde douchebag guy. So it's him, and he's powering up and shit. And now I'm just like, why is Ryu so fucking wide? That's the thing I don't understand about it. But like I said, that's all they show us. They don't show anything else about it. That's all they got. So yeah, we just kind of just got to go from there. So they'll give us more information in June. I was right before we started recording. I was watching the finals of the Capcom Cup. I don't know who won. I know it was like 3-3 or whatever like that. So hopefully my guy won that I got money on. So I don't know. Yeah, can we move on past that?
Sure.
Okay. This part I'm going to get pissed off. Now, this comic book bullies where we talk about the comic books, and I'm going to get pissed because the site that I like to use to read all my comics, Comixology, was bought by Amazon. Actually, bought by Amazon a while ago,
It
and
was
now
bought
they
a
have
while ago. Yeah.
yeah, it was a while ago, but now they have merged them. So pretty much the Comixology site, a site that used to exist, no longer exists. It's gone now. If you even type in Comixology, it sends you to Amazon or Kindle, and it's
Comics or something,
fucking
yeah.
and it's fucking dumb. It's retarded. I'm sorry to use that word, but it doesn't make any sense how you even use it now. You can't
It's
find your
basically
library.
the way the Kindle works.
Kindle sucks. That's the thing. And
For
plus,
comics,
right. And why do I want my comics in merged with Kindle? So now if you just type in one thing, you get all this other shit that just pops up that I wasn't looking for. I wanted this one thing. And then it doesn't even run as good as Comixology. You'll see. Because when we start showing these comics and we were reviewing, you'll see how shitty it is now. The shit we got to go through when we're reading it. So that being said, you want to go first, Eli? Or do I want to go
I
first?
only got 2. Should I go first?
Oh, you got to. Oh, so I guess I should go first. Ugh. I hate that.
I mean, I can go first, and then you can do.
You
a
know
marathon.
what's fucked up about it, that I was excited to review this shit because the switch over didn't happen until like Thursday. So I read all these books on Wednesday. I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready for this, man. I'm ready to
Oh,
review this. And
I didn't. I had to wait till I got paid to buy my shit.
yeah,
So
I read this shit like twice. I was like, man, it's gonna be some good shit. It's gonna be a good episode. Then
yeah,
this shit happened. I was just like, what the fuck?
and then I had to run the update. I had to run. It was like an hour of like what, because I have a Kindle and I merged with Kindle a while ago, like years ago, because I have a Kindle account.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I merged, it didn't read. I had a different email. I had to figure what fucking email was I using. So when I updated the app, all my shit was gone. All my library was gone. I was like, what the fuck? And I had to like figure out what email I use. And then I finally got back into my account and all that shit. But yeah, it was like an hour of like, fuck, what the fuck, So yeah.
So Amazon took a perfectly good thing that worked and just fucked it all up. Just like, no, it don't work anymore. So, but all they had to do was nothing. Just don't do anything. Just leave it alone and just let us do what we were doing before. It doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Eli, we can't even complain about it because so few people care about this shit. If we all did complain about it, they won't care. Like, who gives a fuck? They're $1 trillion company. Who cares about some shit that Iron Fist 4 that sold 10,000 copies? What the fuck they care? They're dropping the bucket. They sell more dildos to make more money than Iron Fist 3. So shit. All right, so what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Iron Fist. Let's review Iron Fist. What do we got? I'm gonna just.
That's
start
one of the
with that
reasons why I didn't buy so many books this week.
I don't blame the thing. I would have bought more, but I didn't know what was out because the list of books, like they used to have a top 40 list, it's gone. So I don't even know what's out now.
And I couldn't add anything to like a fucking like a cart anymore. Like, where's my cart? Like, I gotta just buy this now. Well, I don't know if I want to buy this now. Like,
you will.
But I had to like scroll through. Oh shit! I can't add that, but I gotta. Yeah, it was a bitch. Yeah.
It's so terrible. It's so terrible.
I might just have to go back to the comic store.
You know what? A comic store did post that shit. If you're having trouble with Comixology, come here. We still work. Oh man, what are we talking about? Okay, man, this shit really pissed me off, man. It really did. Anyway, what do we got? Okay. Anyway, Iron Fist. Now the reason we're doing Iron Fist is because Iron Fist now has it where there's a new Iron Fist, and no, it's not Danny Rand. It's a new guy. Yes, it is an existing character. No, it is not Shang-Chi.
It ain't Amadeus Cho.
It's not. People saying that also. They're like, it's not the totally awesome Iron Fist. Like, no, it's not him. It's another guy. Yeah, he was part of the Agents of. I keep saying Asians of Atlas. No, it's Agents of Atlas, not Asians of Atlas. Even though the whole team was Asian, but anyway, let's go before I get canceled. What are we talking about? Okay, so we're gonna start with Iron Fist and basically, watch how shitty this is. Look how shitty this is.
Can't zoom in.
Look at this. I can't zoom in at all. I even tried to manually zoom in from Windows 10. It won't let me manually zoom in from it. And that's just like, just fuck me sideways. That's just basically what they are now. So anyway, let's just show you what the book is. I'm gonna just go through it. They're in Kunlun, and they're basically saying this blind chick that's a guardian base is like, as long as we protect the Kunlun egg, nothing will happen. And so you turn around, the Kunlun egg disappears. So yeah. So we cut to, where are we now? We're cutting to New York. I don't know. This shit's so small I can't see. We cut to New York and we see Danny Rand. Danny Rand is beating up demons. And he's on the phone with Luke Cage. He's like, what are you doing? You don't have the Iron Fist powers. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm still a kung fu master. I knew shit before I had superpowers that could crank through walls. So he's fighting the demons and shit like that. He don't know why he's fighting demons, but he throws the cell phone in the air, does some karate shit, the wind of, molasses and the snake tiger, whatever, beat some shit and catches it, and right before the last demon gets him, that's when you get Iron Fist. And he punches through him, but you see him grab something in his hand. He's like, huh, So Danny Rand like, what the fuck is he doing? But the thing is, his hand is glowing green, and Iron Fist's hand is supposed to glow green because the Fist of Khonshu is orange. So he's just like, okay, you got Iron Fist power, but you don't have the Iron Fist power you're supposed to have. But then that's when he gets his hands does start growing orange, but then he like conk out or like fizzle out shit like that, and he's like, oh shit, this ain't working. So then he like runs away, and Danny Rand runs after him, and okay, so now we find out who this guy is. The guy name is Lin Lee. Now, if you don't know who Lin Lee is, because I didn't know who he was, Lin Lee is the sword master, or was the sword master. That's who he was on the Agents of Atlas. In his last mission with the Agents of Atlas, he fought some kind of big dragon. The dragon supposedly killed him, but he woke up in Kung Lun with the Shun Lu, whatever dragon surrounding him, giving him the Iron Fist powers. So that's how he's Iron Fist now. So he's got the Iron Fist powers and the Shadow Master's sword, whatever powers also. So that's his thing. So that's his thing. But he's got the sword embedded in his skin. So that's why Shun Lu isn't working right now. So anyway, I'm cut to the end. Anyway,
somebody's in there. We got a comment. Woohoo!
We got a comment.
Yeah,
you checked it out. Yep.
What up, Renee or Janae? Was that Renee?
Janae, what's up? Yeah, Janae, what's up? Yeah. So like I said, Iron Fist fights Iron Fist, but Iron Fist wins. Anyway, he's got the dragon. But so what he's doing, he's going all around the world finding the pieces of his sword when he was a sword master. Because if the demons get their hands on the sword, then they'll rule the world or some shit, and then he takes off. He finds a gateway portal to Kung Lao, whatever the shit was, and goes over there. And he's got some kind of girlfriend over in Kung Lao, and they basically, he's eating dinner. And basically what they're telling him is that, the reason the Iron Fist power isn't working because you got that sword power built into you, and it's like messing up your chi. Your chi is unbalanced. So we have to get the sword out of you to make the Iron Fist work. Because if it don't, since your chi is out of whack, it might end up killing you. So that's the thing. So, and you're like, don't worry about that. We'll get the sword back. And hopefully, don't worry, nobody knows that you're here. So you're safe. Meanwhile, the dad gets up, looks at the sword, and he turns into some kind of tail twisty demon or some shit. The end. So yeah, that's the thing. So Janae, I can't read what that is, but yeah. Oh, I think it's fist. Yeah, I think it's fist.
Applaud. Was that awesome. Fist or applaud or something?
I think either applauding us or fisting us. I don't know. Hopefully one of them's a good thing. But yeah, that's what we got going on right now. So yeah, this is a thing. This isn't an Iron Fist book. This is a Shadow Master Sword Master book with Iron Fist name on it. Because this dude already had a book. And now he's in Iron, because none of this shit has anything to do with Iron Fist. And Danny Rand is still here. So honestly, I feel like Danny Rand's probably going to just be Iron Fist at the end of this stupid ass story anyway. Wow. That's what it was.
Greetings.
Thank you. Okay. Today probably still at work. But yes, that's the thing right now. So yeah, this book isn't really worth the time. My thing is, I understand what Marvel is trying to do. They're trying to course correct because we got I'm the guy. They made all these, accusations about Danny Rand, how he's the white savior. He's that old, David Carradine trope, and I guess they're trying to course correct, But my thing is, no, I think it's right. No, but the thing is, you're taking a character that you take an original character that you had. Yeah, Sword Master isn't much to me, just a dude with a sword, but you can make that work. You don't have to turn him into somebody else. Leave Danny Rand. Whatever, who cares? He's been around this long, so whatever. Yeah, all right, Eli, what you got?
Well, since we're doing Marvel, I'll do King Conan #3.
Okay.
Basically, this is see this fucking Comixology.
Oh, you see, I thought you were doing.
Where's my number? Here it is. Okay, here it is. No, see more. See, this thing is so stupid. No, I don't want to pre-order the book.
You're gonna fucking buy the book.
I can't even fucking work this shit.
Now we look like some dumbasses because Comixology doesn't work anymore, and now we look like we don't even know how to work our own equipment.
Okay, yeah. No, it's just this navigation on this app. The way
It's terrible. It is fucking terrible.
yeah, and I can't even switch off the panel by panel shit. How do you do this?
You
Fuck it.
can't. You
I
can't.
can't.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can't.
Okay, I'm just gonna go off the top. Basically, this is Conan. It's King Conan. He left the kingdom and basically banished his son because he thinks his son is spoiled and needs to, go have experiences and not be a spoiled prince. Because he's the son of Conan and he shouldn't be. He should be a badass like his dad, basically. But so Conan ended up on this island. At every night, zombies come out of the water, of the dead sailors that have wrecked on this island, and they try to kill everybody. Conan is the only one who's survived the night. At dawn, the zombies go back into the sea, and he's the only one left, the only man who's ever survived the night. And he finds a cave with this hot native princess. Oh, I got the image. Yeah, and her name is Princess, I think it's Matoku or Matoka, which, for those who don't know, because Disney, ran with this fairy tale, is the real name of Pocahontas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how to feel about this, but basically, this chick has been on this island, hiding this pot of gold, and her story was basically the Pocahontas story. Some conquistadors came to her land. She fell in love with the dude. He came back with all his armada and they decided to kill her tribe and take the gold, but she escaped with the gold. Meanwhile, her dad, the chief, has some shaman, mystical, totem animal powers and all this mystical, stereotypical native shit. And she escaped and found this island, and she's been waiting on this island for someone to save her. And it's basically the Pocahontas fairy tale, kind of.
With Conan.
With Conan in it. She wants Conan to save her, or she built a boat out of fingernails from the dead. But then, I don't know. I think she's maybe trying to, double cross them. But then it cuts back to the shit with their son. Back to Conan's son, a flashback to when he made his son like banished from the land. And his son's like, "Fuck you, Dad," and pulls out his sword. And he's challenging his dad to a duel, and that's where it ends. I don't know how to feel about that whole native princess thing, because she's totally sexualized, basically embodies all the negative stereotypes. So I don't know.
Now, this is still Jason Aaron, right?
And this is still Jason Aaron, the guy who gave
Aaron.
Echo the Phoenix Force, and then he takes like 10 steps backwards with this shit. So I don't know.
That's why I was like, please let it be anybody but Jason Aaron. But okay,
yeah.
Like you find out a serial killer is black, you're like, no.
Oh shit! 2 out of 5. Fucking.
All right. So next book we're gonna do is, let's go ahead and knock this out. Let's do X-Men. See, this is what I was excited for this one, Eli. It was a good book. I was excited for it, but then Comics House, you pulled this bullshit. It's like, ugh, now I gotta suffer through this. All right. So anyway, they fight MODOK. That's the thing. So that's another reason when I got this book. I was like, okay, yeah, MODOK is always a good time. Where are you, MODOK? Oh, there you go, you big fucker, big head. All right. So basically, how the book starts off, MODOK does some MODOK shit. He is trying to stimulate the Abudulagala. What is that shit they said in Happy Gilmore or Waterboy?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that shit. Okay, the flight response. So he sends Ames, and they go to a pleasure cruise, and they just spray everybody and just go crazy. Someone go crazy. Someone start fighting people. Blah blah. Same old. Chef start fighting people. Send in the X-Men. Okay, so the X-Men show up. And MODOK kicks a chick. It says for science. It was funny, but you can't see it because it's so small. But I don't know why he did that shit. But yeah, okay. So the X-Men show up, and Polaris uses her Magneto power. Her daughter Magneto power is like, oh, they're cloaking their ship, but I can see them because I am the daughter of Magneto. She's bragging, all stuff like that. So let's see. Go past. I got lost. All right. So basically, the X-Men go to the ship. Sync uses his powers to steal Jean's great powers and telekinetically lifts everybody down there. Cyclops turns into Captain Krakoa, so nobody knows that he's dead. While they get there, Wolverine, Laura, she just punches people. She doesn't kill anybody, you know. But while they're doing it, Laura and Sync have a heart to heart. You remember, they spent 500 years, in the vault, and while they're talking, Laura's just like, okay, tell me one thing, Sync, that happened in the vault. Okay, anything you want to ask, anything you want to ask. Okay, how long did it take me to warm up to you? He was like,
Sync.
yeah.
Was there a DC character named Sync?
Not that I know of.
Who did you read that Nightwing?
I ain't read any of the Nightwing.
Oh,
you think? But Sync's been around since the 90s, though, in Marvel at least.
Maybe it was something else. No,
so
it might... Risk? I don't know. Somebody died. I'll get to that. I forget their name.
Ink? I don't know.
Sync.
Right. So okay. So so Sync and Laura basically Sync is just like a couple years, a couple hundred years, it took us 217 years for our first kiss. And then Laura just smiles and she's like, so I like a man that's persistent. That's all she says. So she sees it, she's kind of like warming up to him, but while they having this heart to heart, the AIM goons are still shooting at him. And Sync's like pistol, like, man, don't you see we having a conversation? And he does his Jean Grey shit to knock him back, stuff like that. And then Laura just like, look, we'll finish the conversation after we fuck these guys up, and Sync just sad, like, oh, I love her, and then he has this little flashback. He's like, yeah, they invited me to the team, but I only wanted Wolverine. Wolverine is my true love. And that's why I was like, and it took me a while. Oh, he talking about the other Wolverine. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So
but hasn't it been established that Wolverine does go that way because of that the bedroom scene shit?
Well, I guess he's only gay for Cyclops, so I don't think he's just like willy-nilly anybody, He's got a bad for one guy. But I guess that's
there's only one dick that I'll ever suck.
Right. So Sync does some mind control Jedi mind trick shit on MODOK, and then they find out where MODOK like lives at, what he thinks about in his head, and then they go to his house and they see like his kids and his wife, and get past all this shit. Yeah, they see his kids and his wife, and he's just in the backyard grilling. They're like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, yeah, this shit I do when I'm not being a supervillain. But then they look at the grill and it's the heads of the X-Men. Like Wolverine, Cyclops, he's like grilling them, tossing Sync's head up and shit like that. And basically it's like, okay, Mona, we got to stop you. We're going to trap you in your own mind. And yeah, that's it. Does some other shit happen in the story? I don't think so. Somebody gets married. Oh yeah, Sync tries to quit because he's just like, I love Wolverine too much. I can't be in this group because my Laura died and I can't put that pressure on her. Cyclops like, nope, can't leave. And some other shit happened, but yeah. That's the thing about the X-Men, but when Jerry Duggan, Hacksaw, whatever his name is, he doesn't know how to end these stories. Like they always have action to end, and then when they end, it's always some bullshit towards the end that I never remember because it's like, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, up until that, the story's pretty good. Who do we got here? Chris Wilson. Good afternoon. The fuck? Where are you?
Must be on the other side.
It must be on the other side. Yeah. Shout out to you. Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Across the pond. Yeah. It's not afternoon over here. I don't know what you're thinking, but yeah. This is live. But yeah. All right. So yeah, what you got?
I have Nightwing 89. This is that crossover with the Son of Kal-El.
Oh, I started to get it, but I know you're gonna read it. So, and I was hoping that Comixology would work.
So this basically has a teaming up. We got Nightwing and John, Dick and John teaming up, solving the murders. So what are they called? The Gamora squad or whatever.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah,
those LexCorp Gamora squad. Those metas that LexCorp is controlling. They're going around killing heroes, superpowered beings. And
they're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because they said they were going to do that in the last one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And one of them was named Risk. That's his name, Risk.
Okay.
He gets killed, and so John and Dick kind of team up, and Dick's kind of giving them pointers on, hey, he's from down under.
Good day. That's why
Cool.
you said afternoon. Okay, yeah.
He's probably in the future, so it's like Wednesday over there or something already. um, so yeah, Dick is like sort of training John, detective skills. What do you see? Would you see footprints? No, that means they were in the air, and kind of giving him pointers on how to investigate. We also get some flashbacks of when John was a kid and he went missing, and Batman and Nightwing teamed up to go find him while Superman was off planet, and it shows them bonding and shit. And there's a nice little touching moment, and he's talking about watching. Yeah, cool.
Hey, that's how we do it sometimes.
Sweet. So yeah, there's Bruce Wayne and Clark, they're having like a one-to-one conversation on parenting. When do you ever stop worrying about your parents? We never do. So it's kind of a little touching moment between them
And then he
two.
said Alfred still worries about him and all stuff like that.
Yeah, Alfred still checks on me while I'm sleeping, make sure I'm still breathing, which is something, yes, parents do. Then we get to, Jonathan still like kind of in turmoil over what happened with that sea monster that flooded the metropolis, and some people died and he couldn't save them, and he's in the Fortress of Solitude talking to his dad hologram. But he's like, you know what, this is fine and dandy, but I would rather like hang out with somebody real, So then he goes and sees his boyfriend, who's still doing what are they called, The Truth or whatever, that show.
Yeah, that Truth podcast.
Yeah, and it turns out that it's funded by Dick. Dick is using that money that he inherited from Alfred, and he's funding this podcast.
Oh wow, so it's been like that the whole time. Wow.
Yeah, okay. So we find that out, and then we see them go on this investigation. Turns out a bunch of superheroes are dying all over the planet, so it's not just this guy. So they start following this energy trail, from the murder scene, and it leads them right to the LexCorp. And that's where we stop. So next is the Metaman murders.
And that's going to be in Santa Kal-El, right?
That's in Santa Kal-El. So
I'll pick that up.
This is cool. Another good book, Nightwing book, 4 or 5.
Tom Taylor don't miss. I mean, people pissed at him, but he doesn't miss.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Oh, matter of fact, Eli, Dark Ages came out this week.
I haven't been reading that. Is that the one where the lights go out? I read like 1 or 2 issues.
Yeah, like Dr. Doom's trying to take over Europe or some shit, whatever like that. Apocalypse,
vampires and shit. I remember those
vampire, Blade, some shit like that. But yeah, that came. But I couldn't find it because of fuck ass.
It's buried under the big heap of shit. They don't know how to organize new books.
No, we don't want the books you want. Let's just have these books up here. Nobody gives a fuck. Let's put "Marry Me" number 5 up here because you really want to read that.
Yeah, here's the new books, not organized by the companies.
Let's put the least interesting first up here. Oh shit! All right, what do we got here? Okay, so let's do this. My last book, I got Justice League number 70 something. Who gives a fuck? The reason I'm reading this is because, of course, Eli, they got this big thing coming up. 72, Justice League 72. The big thing, I think, in Justice League 73 or 4 or 5 or 6, something like that, it's the death of Justice League, the killing of Justice League.
The crisis of the crises.
The crises. The crisis. Yeah. So they're killing them off. Brand new Justice League coming. Like I said, we're probably going to have John on there. Probably going to have Dick on there. Probably going to have some new green Naomi. Probably going to be on there. She's probably going to lead the team or some shit like that, So I think that's where we're going with it. I don't know, but I feel like that's where we're going with it. But this is the story building up to that story. So, and let's see what we got going. So the book starts off with I'm gonna go ahead and shrink. I shouldn't shrink this shit, but anyway, fuck it, I'm not gonna shrink it. Basically, the book starts off with Zatanna having a nightmare, and she sees herself killing the Justice League. And she's just like, and Wonder Woman's like, you betrayed us. You shouldn't have did that, And she's like, what the hell? So she finally wakes up, and she's in the, in the Justice League dark, room. They're having a meeting like that, and they just looking like, Zatanna, do you know where you are? Like, say it. Say where you are. So apparently, the Justice League Dark lives in the basement of the Hall
Is
of
that
Justice.
Detective Chimp?
Yes, he's a member of the Justice League Dark. He's been a member. Yeah, and my boy Demon's on
Oh,
here.
Etrigan, yeah.
Edgerton. I can't see. I can't read it, but he's rhyming. He's spitting bars right now, but I can't read it. Zatanna is gonna be all right. Let's go see the Justice League tonight or whatever, some shit like that. All right. So anyway, meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, so they're just partying. They're having like a good time with kids. So they're not fighting superheroes like that. They're just fighting with the kid. Doing playground with the kids outside the Hall of Justice. And Naomi's just like, well, why don't we do more of this? Why are we always fighting people all the time? And Hall Girl tells her,
Hey, what a party at?
right. But Hawk Girl says some deep shit. She like, we do the fighting, so they don't have to. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So and you got Plastic Man doing Plastic Man shit and like that, and Black Adam looking at everybody having fun, like fuck this, I'm out of here, So he flies off, goes back to Kahndaq. When he goes back to Kahndaq, it's somebody's waiting for him. Xanadeth. So this is the big bad of this story or arc, whatever's coming up. Xanadeth is the story. So and that's not what she really looks like. That's just like a host body. So she's here like, I want your body. Like I want, to be, I want you to be the host of me,
That
my
a
big
Sade
penis.
song or something? Or was that
Probably so.
George
I think
Michael?
it may be a J-Lo Marry Me song on the soundtrack. But yeah, so she just like, look, I was just gonna just take over your body, but since you're like fucking evil and you're a super villain, you love chaos, I figured you would like be happy to just inhabit me, and be even more powerful you want. You're like, no, that ain't happening. She's like, oh, I was afraid you were gonna say that. Saying, oh, we got Just League. Oh, they just like, where Black Adam at? Black Adam left. He went to contact, like whatever. And then Zatanna is flipping out. She's like, no, we need to find Black Adam because apparently that dream that she had at the beginning of the book involved Black Adam. Black Adam is gonna do some real fucked up shit and kill all of us. We need to find him right now. Are you sure? You're like, yes, my magic's gonna find me, so we need to go do that. So they go do some magic shit. They see Black Adam, and yeah. So he's just like, turn into your real form. I want to see your real form. And that's the real form of Xenadeth, or if that's the name of the person. So, and she just like beats the shit out of Black Adam, Then the Justice League finally show up. What happens here? I don't know what happens here. Oh, yeah, they go find Madam Xanadu. They go do some bullshit. So it's like a Justice League Dark crossover kind of thing. But I never care what the Justice League Dark is doing except for when Demon is rhyming.
They're probably having a seance or some shit.
Yeah, like whatever the fuck. Like whatever we do. But the big thing is at the end of it, so Lady Xanadu, Madam Xanadu, whatever her name is, and Zatanna, they meet Lady Xenadurth for whatever her name is, and they're fighting her. And they were like, none of our magic is working. And she's like, oh, damn, because I wanted to show you my trick. So then Lady Xanadurth goes, Shazam, and turns into Black Adam.
No shit.
Yeah, the end. So, yeah, so it looks like Black Adam is going to kill the Justice League.
All right.
Or at least that's what it looked like it's headed to. So, yeah. Still written by Brian Michael Bendis.
I was about to say, is Bendis still writing this? Okay.
Bendis still writing, but when he kills the Justice League, that's going to be his last issue. Then Joshua Williamson jumps on, and then that's when we get the crisis story coming up. So yeah.
Okay.
So you got more books?
I'm booked out.
Now I'm booked out too.
I didn't bother reading the Hulk.
That was rough, Eli. I ain't gonna lie, that was rough, man. Look, Comixology, I know you don't listen to this podcast, but please do something with your Jeff Bezos, do something with your shit, man. I know you swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck, but damn, just fix this shit. So yes, we can get back on track.
He's
like
probably
I said,
on his private island at his eyes wide shut sex party right now.
Yeah, I know. Some orgy island or some shit, yeah. But yeah, follow us next week. We're gonna have more stuff. Hopefully, they will fix whatever is wrong with the stuff right now. But we're gonna have some more stuff coming out. I am going to see Uncharted. Eli, just like you went this whole long riff about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm gonna do the same thing with Uncharted next week. Now, I do want to let you know, I'm going balls deep. And you want to follow what I'm going to say, because I know I'm going to be late on the Uncharted review, but think about every Uncharted review out right now. It's either going to be two types of reviews. It's going to be one with people that have never touched a video game and don't know what the fuck they're referencing, or the other ones just clinking about on a scale of 1 to 10, How woke is it? I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm going to break it down, give you the meat of it. And I'm gonna have a conflict of interest with this movie because it's one of my most anticipated movies seeing this year, and I already know it's gonna be a stealing pile of dog shit.
And all the
So
people that liked it that don't play the video games are like, well, that's what you get for liking the video game.
right. Like we can't be. Yes, we are. Yes, we are going to see it, Janae. Yeah. So I'm gonna complain about it.
You hated it? Oh, that's what you get for wanting to see something cool. Like,
don't worry, I will talk the whole way through and tell you everything. Okay, this happened in 3, this happened in that one, and happened in that one. That's such and such, But so I'm gonna be pissed, but I'm gonna be engaged, So, and that's what it's all about. As long as you're engaged. So yeah, Eli, anything else you gotta add? Or you good?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
I wore this fucking shirt for nothing.
and shout out to Chris Wilson. I mean, he is in the future in Australia. Chris, real quick.
Global. Bullies are going global now.
Yeah, Chris, do us a favor since you're in the future, man. Type in some lottery numbers or some quick, right? So we can, take it to the grocery store or some shit. I can run to Louisiana. It's legal there. It's not legal in Mississippi, but yeah. That being said, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time.